So, one of the most important things when you're going out camping is really water. Where are you going to get, and how are you going to make sure that the water that you are collecting is clean and healthy? How much should you get per day, carry per day, etc. And also how to carry it. Now, in the next few videos, I kind of wanted to address those issues. I want to keep them reasonably short, so I'll work on one topic at a time. And in this video, I wanted to cover carrying water or storing water. So you can see right in front of you, you've got a few different ways to carry water. Now, 3 out of the 4 I use, 1 out of the 4 I don't, and I'll kind of explain which is which and kind of why I've decided to include the example of why I don't use one of these things and expand on that a little bit more. So let's go over the things that I do use to carry. Now, not explaining in this video how much I carry or why I carry X amount of water, but just so you know, I do carry about give or take 4 liters per day, or that's kind of what I bank for. So definitely the bladder is going to carry the most amount of water. Now, I use an Osprey bladder. I have used Camelback bladders and some other brand which I don't even remember, but I found that Osprey is, for me, the best bladder. There's a few different reasons for this. Number one, and definitely the biggest reason, is that it's simple. You can see here the bladder design. You've got the hose which connects to the bladder. It's very easy to take the hose off. There's no clicky bits or there's no mechanics involved or anything like that, so that means there's less to go wrong. And I have had other bladders fail around those kind of mechanical bits and pieces. On the other side of the bladder, you've got a very simple bite valve. Again, very easy to take off, disconnect from the hose. Okay, very easy to clean, replace, what have you. So again, it's very simple, which when you're out bush camping, etc., is exactly what you want, because there's a lot less chance of something going wrong, and if something does go wrong, it's much easier to fix. The other reason I use the Osprey bladder is it's very easy, very comfortable to carry and fill. You've got a really nice big handle here, and a very nice wide opening to the bladder, so it's very easy to pour water in. It's very easy to get your hand in there, clean a little bit, and put barbecue tongs or what have you to be able to keep the bladder open for it to dry. So all in all, it's a great little bladder. It's got a bit of a hard backing here, so when this sits on your back, in the pack against your back, it's a little bit stiffer, it's a little bit flatter, pardon me, so it's not bulging, it's not uncomfortable against your back. You've got your here measurements for the water. Now, it's just a really quick review of the bladder and kind of why I use this one. Like I said, I've used the Camelback ones and another brand, but for my money, this is definitely the best bladder out there, and for those reasons. Probably the next biggest thing here, which contains roughly 1.5 liters of water, is Nalgene Canteen. Now, most of the time this will remain empty and it will remain stored in my bag. You can see how it really doesn't take up much room and it really doesn't weigh a lot. But unfold it, and from here it also spreads out. It carries up to 1.5 liters of water. Now, what I use this for is primarily when we get to the campsite, I carry on me 4 liters of water. Once we've set up camp, I'll go refill everything, so my bladder and this container over here, but I'll also fill up this 1.5 liters of water, and I'll actually use that throughout the evening and into the next morning to cook with, to clean with, etc. And if I do drink from the bladder or from that, I'll generally have a little bit left over, so I can then go and refill those things. Basically, it just saves me doing extra trips down to the river and having to refill the bladder or the pardon me, the bottle over here. Rather than doing 1 or 2 trips in the evening, another trip in the morning, just to make sure everything's topped off, I'll do one big trip, refill both my bladder and the bottle, and I'll also fill up this canteen. Another really big bonus of this canteen is it can be used to store that extra 1.5 liters when you're going to be away from a water source a little bit longer. definitely you can carry 2 of these very easily, and that'll give you another 3 liters of water. So it's a really nice quick way to carry that little bit extra water without too much trouble, without having to carry bigger, bulkier items with you to put the water in. The other thing I use here is a 1 liter Nalgene bottle. Now this sits in the side of my pack. This will usually kind of go with me in the tent, or again I'll use it kind of a little bit for cooking or just drinking or what have you. The bladder will stay in my pack, so I'll kind of put the pack by the tent, and then when I'm kind of around the campfire or what have you, I'll have this nice and handy. I've been using the Nalgene bottles for quite a while now. They are absolutely rock solid. They're pretty much advertised as unbreakable, in the amount of times I've dropped this on not only ground but rocks, and it's definitely survived. So it's a nice trustworthy way or container to have your water in, nice trustworthy bottle. Its plastic is nice and light. It's BPA free, so it's not too bad. I mean, if you want to go absolutely crazy, you can carry a steel water bottle, but I think that's a little bit excessive. Nice big screw-on lid. I definitely recommend getting the little sippy cup insert here. It makes drinking out of these things much easier. Another big plus with this bottle and also the canteen is that they fit onto the Msr filter I use. So when I go down, to the river, it's very easy to screw it onto the bottle or the canteen and just be able to pump the water from there. So it makes life a lot easier. I've also actually got one more thing to show you. I'll just quickly pause the video. Alright, so the other thing which I forgot to put on the table at the start of the video is the Msr bladder that I use here, or the dormitory bag, or whatever they call it. So this actually holds 10 liters, so you can see it's definitely a lot bigger. Again, it has the kind of wide mouth which the Msr filter will screw onto to make life a little bit easier. It has here as well as a nice convenient tap. So the way I kind of usually work with this is I'll hang it off a tree, and then from here you have the tap, so it provides an easy source of water. Now this is really good for car camping, or also I use it for kayaking as well. It's definitely not something that I'll generally carry with me. I have carried it once in the mountains when I know we were going to be away from a water source for an extra day and a half, 2 days, so I did carry this in my pack. But again, it holds 10 liters, so you don't have to fill it up with all 10 liters, but you can understand how it gets quite heavy quite quickly. Very durable material. You've got the handles here. Again, like I said, you can hang it off a tree, a branch, or a car. Again, a really great bit of kit. So you can see here with the 4 items that I use or that I have to carry my water with me, you've got everything from a 3 liter bladder. You've got a portable container here, or a canteen, which can hold up to 1.5 liters, and it's really light and easy to store. You've got a big 10 liter bladder here, and also a nice simple 1 liter handy little container there to carry your water. One thing that I definitely don't recommend you use is plastic bottles like this. So whether it be 600 bottles or 1 liter bottles or 400 or what have you, really I think they're kind of not a great idea for camping. Number one, they're really kind of thin plastic. I've seen these bottles break, or from here when they're subjected to a lot of pressure, you drop your pack at the wrong angle, or you fall over, what have you, a lot of pressure goes onto the bottle and it'll burst. The opening to the bottle is a pain in the backside to fill up without spilling, and besides, I think that you should use things that you're able to use over and over again. So all these kind of equipment, rather than this bottle, it's only going to be good for so many uses before the plastic gets really too crappy to hold the water in it. So this has been kind of a reasonably quick video. I know it's gone for almost 10 minutes now of what I use to carry the water while out camping. Hopefully it's given you some ideas. The bottles themselves can be reasonably cheap, so you're looking at about $10 in Australia for this. I think this was about $10 as well. The Osprey Bladders, I think they're around the $30 mark. They've got 1, 2 or 3 liters. The Msr bags here, they're definitely a little bit more expensive. They run at about $60-$70 here in Australia. But all in all, this definitely carries. This definitely covers all the different kind of needs you may face while out camping or hiking in regards to carrying water. Guys, if you have any questions, suggestions on this video or future videos, please let me know in the comments or give us a thumbs up if you got something out of it. Thanks for watching.